What's the biggest mistake you made at your wedding?
Honey, I love you, but said I do. Not my mistake. Not my mistake. I love my wife.
Timothy Bliefnick was found guilty in May of breaking into the home of his ex-wife, Rebecca Posel Bliefnick, and shooting her 14 times. Timothy Bliefnick was on a Family Feud episode in 2019 and got divorced 2 years later. Timothy was a contestant on Family Feud in an episode that aired in 2020 and called his marriage a mistake. The couple had 3 children. They married in 2009 but divorced in 2021, with Rebecca Bliefnick telling her sister shortly before her death that she feared Timothy. "I am putting this in writing that I'm fearful he will somehow harm me, come after me, or will try to do something to me that takes me away from the kids, or the kids away from me." Rebecca had filed a restraining order against Timothy and his father before the alleged murderer decided to also file one against his ex-wife. The couple was reportedly also fighting over custody arrangements. Timothy reportedly wanted his wife to have a psychiatric evaluation, and Rebecca said it was his wish the children didn't have any type of contact with her husband's father. A text Rebecca sent to a friend in May 2021 read, "He has screamed in my face. He shoved me in front of the kids, and has thrown things across the room where the kids and I were standing." Rebecca was a 41-year-old doting mother and travel nurse on February 23rd. She failed to pick up her 3 sons from school. Rebecca's father received a text from Timothy asking him to check if she planned to pick up the children. Rebecca's father drove to his daughter's home and found the front door open. He walked through and found Rebecca's body in the bathroom. He rushed to a neighbor's house to call 911 as he had forgotten his phone. Prosecutors also claimed that DNA links Timothy to the crime scene. Another Aldi bag found at the scene was reportedly used as a homemade gun silencer by the killer. Detectives said during opening arguments that Rebecca spent her last moments terrified, bleeding, and alone. Timothy denied any involvement but said through an attorney that he was surprised authorities didn't show up at his door sooner. Timothy was ultimately arrested on 13th of March and pleaded not guilty. Throughout the trial, prosecutors presented evidence they say proves Timothy was the perpetrator in his wife's murder, including chilling searches for how to wash off gunpowder, average police response time, and how to open a door with a crowbar in his online history. On 31st March, a jury convicted Timothy on all counts related to Rebecca's murder, after the defense declined to present any evidence. Jurors deliberated for just 4 hours before returning the guilty verdict. Timothy researched this murder, planned this murder, and practiced this murder. Some of those shots were fired while she was lying on the ground, the judge said. And you did all of that while your children were upstairs at your house, lying snug in their beds. He was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of home invasion. Prosecutors said the killing marked the end of a long string of domestic violence and threats by Timothy against Rebecca. Sarah Riley, Rebecca's sister, told jurors that she had first wanted to remain married to Timothy to keep their family together, but in the months leading up to her death had become afraid for her life. Rebecca is described in her obituary as a compassionate and generous mother who had found her true calling in nursing. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she was a travel nurse at the Northeast Regional Medical Center and Hannibal Regional Hospital in Missouri. A GoFundMe to support Rebecca's children has raised more than $100,000. Despite the circumstances of her death, she is remembered for the life she cherished, a life of compassion, generosity, faith, and fierce love for her family. The description of the fundraiser read, "Timothy is sentenced to life in prison." Roughly 6 months after Rebecca Bliefnick's killing, her murderer was sentenced to 3 life terms at a hearing on 11 August. As he handed down the sentence, Adams County Judge Robert Adrian counted to 14, the number of bullets that Timothy unloaded during the attack. "We are only left with memories. Your soul is black with hate. Your heart has only love for itself. You should never be allowed to be free again.